All right, today's video is for both my students and the construction students at BOCES. I figured they might find this interesting as well. So today I'm going to highlight the underground greenhouse that I'm currently building, or the Wallapini, as I've heard them also called. This was meant to be a project for this summer, but due to our situation, I figured I'd start chipping away at it now. So what I did is my lumber I ended up getting at Baker Miller, which is a local lumber company. Instead of going to Lowe's or Home Depot, I figured it'd be nice to try to support them. And they're located in Groton. And then once I started cutting it, I realized that the boards are actually from Bestway, right in Cortland. So it's kind of a double whammy there for supporting local companies, which is nice. And all the boards are perfect. I was crowning them, and I realized I didn't even have to do it because they're all just perfect. So the lumber I got from them. Phase one of this happened a couple years ago. An excavator came in and dug a 4-foot deep hole, and I built the foundation with old car tires that I rammed with dirt with a sledgehammer for thermal mass. And actually this whole back wall, so this is the north wall, this is the south facing wall. So that's all old car tires that are filled with dirt. So they're about 300 pounds each. So that helps with the thermal mass. And then inside here we have 2 planter cells, which I'll talk about in a second. And then that middle area I'll cover in a second also. So each side is bermed to give an underground effect to kind of harness the geothermal temperature year round. We have some recycled glass panes, reclaimed glass window panes that are going to serve as the bottom layer, and then the top row is going to be a corrugated plastic called Solex, which I'm sourcing online. It's got a good R value, so it'll keep it warm, and it's also got a good light transmission. This area here actually is going to be a giant compost pile that's going to have horse manure and wood chips and hay in a perfect ratio. And then I'm going to pump air into the bottom, and then heat packs, which is going to come through this chute out from the greenhouse, and it's going to coil inside of this, and then that should heat up water throughout the winter, which I'll then pump back inside to use as a heat source in the winter. So this is the front here, and that's where the door is going to be. We also have some geothermal activity here. This is I got it buried right now, but there's a 6-inch plastic pipe in here that runs the whole length of each side. So that'll be buried at the end here, probably about 5 feet below grade. And then that air will get pumped to the back, and then there'll be a fan in the back that'll pump that air into the inside. So that'll also help heat. The goal here is to keep this area above freezing, and my plan is to grow hopefully a variety of citrus trees in here year round. So we have a low pitch roof to help keep the air, to help keep the heating space low, to keep the ceiling low, so that the air stays warm inside. Okay, so stepping inside, we have some reclaimed cinder block. I got a lot of it free on Craigslist, and that's what I made the knee walls out of. And then the inside here, this is all wood chips right now, and soil, compost, and so on. So inside here, this is where I'm going to grow annual plants. And then underneath this, underneath these pallets, This is gonna be my vermicomposting setup. So this is where I'm gonna put compost, and we'll have red wiggler worms in there, which will be breaking down household compost throughout the winter. So that'll serve a couple purposes. That'll also hopefully add heat to the system.
Hi guys.
Hi, honey. It'll hopefully add heat to the system, and then also serve as a way to get worm castings right here inside. Okay, so the dimensions here are roughly 18 feet wide, 50 feet deep.
Daddy, I didn't
And then inside here, at the end here, so there's a little PVC pipe. So the way that I'm gonna get water in here is off the barn. There's a IBC tote over there that'll harvest that water, and then with a hose that will gravity feed water to the inside here. There's the other end of that PVC pipe is about right here, and that comes in, and then I'll have that water diverted into here. So down at the bottom here, there's crushed rock at the bottom, and then a layer of sand and then soil. So that's where I can water. I could also run drip tape on the top of this if I wanted to water them from the top. So that's basically it. There are cool things online. If you Google citrus in the snow, that guy has a really cool greenhouse. There's a couple other cool like underground Wallapini solar greenhouses that are online. So I kind of took a bunch of different ideas and kind of meshed them into one. I'm really excited about that compost pile to see if that really heats up water enough to make a difference. So that water, once it runs through that PEX coil, will get dumped into the end here, and then that hot water, which in theory would be about 120 degrees in the wintertime, will run the length of this before it gets pumped back up into that coil again. And then that'll almost serve as like a radiant heat source inside of this, which I think the citrus trees will like. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Ventilation up here. And yeah, so maybe I'll post another update once I get this thing done. All right, hope everyone's well.